Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Scott sent me a note, and the story is actually rather short, but it's an interesting problem, and it happens more and more these days. So this is from Mashable. It's written by Mira Navlaka, and the headline is, Judge Squashes Prime Video Ads Lawsuit. So, of course, if you have Amazon Prime, part of that is a thing you can get called Amazon Prime Video. And you can watch or stream stuff off of Amazon Prime through whatever device you might have. And they charge you for that. And so you're paying for this service. And the question is, if you're streaming a movie that you've paid for by subscribing to Prime Video, can they put ads in it? And so somebody filed a lawsuit saying you shouldn't be able to do that because you're already charging me. I mean, what are they going to do now? Start, running ads during the movies at the theater? They still have theaters, Well, it looks like ads aren't going anywhere from the streaming platform, writes the author here, because a judge has permanently dismissed a class action lawsuit against Amazon's Prime Video streaming platform. Case has been dismissed with prejudice. In a complaint filed in February of last year, plaintiffs had argued that the service's addition of ads constituted an illegal stealth price increase. But a U.S. district judge shut that case down last week, saying that by adding commercials, Amazon wasn't changing the price. They were instead modifying the existing subscription package. Now, you might say, wait. What's the difference? Well, a price increase would be them charging you more. And adding commercials is simply them modifying the subscription package. So the court said that Amazon's terms and conditions specify that Prime's package could change over time. So the price stays the same. The terms and conditions change. So the judge wrote, Amazon's introduction of advertisements to Prime Video was not a price increase. It was a benefit modification, which I admit does sound like that corporate speak. Benefit modification. And such modification was specifically contemplated and authorized by the parties' governing agreements. She had previously disagreed with the case a few times already. Plaintiffs are no longer allowed to push this case further. So ads on Prime aren't going anywhere, at least not because of this litigation. And the writer of this article on Mashable says that we're likely to see even more in the future. In June, an exclusive report from Adweek showed that Amazon plans to double its ads. To avoid this, users can opt to pay an extra $3 a month. And so it's interesting. There's a bunch of things that you can look at here. One of which is I often have people ask me, they say, Steve, I saw an article that mentioned that Coca-Cola is going to do something, or that General Motors did something or is planning on something. How does this stuff get public? Do they advertise this stuff? Well, keep in mind that a lot of big businesses are corporations, and corporations are required to issue reports. And a lot of times, buried deep in those reports is information that they are disclosing to stockholders. And there are people out there who read these reports looking for newsworthy things. So it very well could be that Amazon put in one of its reports and said, oh, by the way, we have a great idea to increase our revenue. We're going to double the ads that we show on Amazon Prime. That could be. I don't know. I'm speculating here. But that's one of the ways that this information gets out. But also they point out that if you don't want this to happen, they're going to let you pay an extra $3 a month. And then you have to ask yourself, which is a lesser evil? $3 a month or just muscling through those ads? Because as I'm sure some of you know, if you're watching this on YouTube, there are people listening, but this, if you're watching this on YouTube, YouTube's got a thing called YouTube Premium. And so on YouTube, there are commercials. And there might be a commercial before a video, during a video, after a video. Up on the side, if you're watching on a large device, ads can pop up, right? And so YouTube has made the decision to say, well, if you don't want ads, you can pay a little extra a month and get YouTube Premium. And it's actually not paying extra a month because obviously the base platform is free. So you can watch the videos for free and muscle through the ads, or you can pay a couple bucks to get the YouTube Premium. And the interesting thing is that I've heard a lot of people in my audience are doing that with the YouTube Premium, and I do it too. And I've mentioned before, I've got a Peloton. Which is a stationary bike. And the stationary bike has a screen on it, and you can watch things on this screen. And I actually have my Peloton set up in such a way that I can also see a big screen and put other things in the big screen. So I routinely watch movies or videos while I'm on my Peloton. And before I had YouTube Premium, I used to keep the cordless mouse next to me, even though the device was too far away to reach. And that way I could click through things or choose things or change whatever I was doing on the monitor while I was riding my Peloton. And one day I got on the Peloton and I start riding and I'm running along, and all of a sudden I realized I forgot to grab the mouse. And I thought, how bad could this be? And I'm watching a video, and all of a sudden a mid-roll video pops up. And I think to myself, okay, I'll muscle through the ad. The ad was like 8 or 9 minutes long. I didn't know they existed. An ad that length in the middle of a video. Because as some of you know, I occasionally put ads where I endorse something. I put them at the end of my video. And so here I am on my Peloton watching this ad, and it was for something that I would never buy in a million years. And I'm watching it and going, wait, how long is this ad? Oh, okay. So somebody made some money that day because they got, hey, some guy watched this complete ad for the first time ever. And so it was around that time that I got YouTube Premium. And it turns out YouTube Premium's got some other perks thrown in there. I'm not here pushing YouTube Premium. I'm simply pointing out that it exists. And it reminds me of this when I talk about the Prime Video and Prime Video showing ads. And so this is the way everything is going. Things are creeping in that direction at all times. I can tell you I've got Prime Video. I don't watch a lot of stuff, but I watch some stuff that way. And nowadays, and this is the crazy thing, in the old days, they would announce a show is coming out. Oh, it's going to be on NBC. Oh, okay, it means I got to watch it on Channel 4 in Detroit, right? Back in the old days. Now, of course, on cable, it might be in a different place, but it's still going to be NBC. But the weird thing is that as time goes on, you discover that things are being released on Amazon Prime or on Hulu or on Netflix. And the other day I watched a movie that had just come out. They're talking about it right now in the news. And somebody said, you should watch this movie. I watched the trailer. It looked good. So I watched the movie. And my first question I had was, where can I watch it? So I typed into the Google, who's showing this movie, and I found it on 2 or 3 different platforms, one of which was Prime Video. So now there was not an ad inside the movie, and I don't think there were any ads before the movie either. But before the movie, I kind of understand that. But if they ever start dropping them in the middle of the movie, that'll bother me, especially if I paid good money, because I had to pay more money to see this video, this movie, because it was a recent release and all that. It wasn't part of the free stuff you get to watch on Prime Video. But it's an interesting point. But the judge is saying, look, go read your terms and conditions. I guarantee you it says they got the right to, do all kinds of stuff. And I'm surprised it doesn't say they can raise the price on you. But it doesn't say that. But it does say they can change the terms and conditions. And that's what they've done here is they've changed the terms and conditions by simply adding commercials. And so there you go. So Scott, thanks for sending it. Judge squashes Prime Video ads lawsuit. It had been filed as a class action. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.